Yo, what's up, Pac? How's it going, brother? I just did a thorough vacuuming and water change. I had to test the water. He's been freaking out at night. Hi, Brooklyn. But you can see that white spot. He bashed his head in something last night, so I don't know if it was the planters, like this thing, or that white one there, or one of the rocks. But you could see right there on his head, he's got a spot where he bashed himself. It's white. High Spirit in the Sky Blue, and he's got one on the other side too. So, like 3 nights ago, we were watching TV. The lights are out, and he's freaking out. All kinds of splashing. Uh, he was acting really, really stressed. Um, Almost jumped out of the tank twice in like 10 minutes. Was just going batshit. So I tested the water, and the water was okay. A little bit high in nitrates, but I did a quick 20% and it was fine. I might have to adjust the temperature a little bit. It might be a little warm, but yeah, I don't know if it's stress or if something in there is bothering him. I don't know if the plants, there's too many roots sticking down or what. But yeah, he's been acting really fucking nuts, man. It's had me worried. I've taken to well, last night I used a black garbage bag because all of the dirty towels were in the laundry. But I was using a towel to cover the front of the tank when the lights are off. My mother-in-law suggested some kind of a curtain that comes from the ceiling down below the bottom of the tank, so that way no light gets in there from the TV. I think it might be that. It might be the surround sound. I don't know. Yeah, he's fine. He's acting fine. He's just got a couple of bumps and bruises. They should be cleared up in a couple days. They usually are. But now I'm doubling down on finding something bigger for him to live in. Hi, Trisha. Thanks for stopping in. Oh, Pigpen's beating up his face. If he would turn, he's got a decent scratch on the other side. What's up, angry Uncle Fester? Yeah, colds suck. I haven't gotten one yet, but it's only a matter of time. Yeah, I even put the dimmer light back on them because I thought maybe the light being brighter was stressing him out, but it was after night lights out. So he did calm down a little after I blacked out the tank, but I think I might want to make some kind of a curtain that goes up to the ceiling that kind of blocks him off completely. Unless I move him. I don't know where the hell I would move him to, though. And if I moved him, I'd have to move the 40 underneath, too. And that'd be a project. Yeah, come on, dude. Turn. Show us the other side. You got a big fucking scratch on that side. See the white scratch there on that side? Yep. So he's been bumping into something. I'm thinking, I don't know if I should let the water level be down so he can't at least hit the brace. Because I think he might be hitting that. But I definitely want to get him something bigger. I mean, he looks a lot bigger in here in person than he does on the camera. I don't know exactly why, but it does. And like I said, it'll be good enough, but not really good enough, you know? So I definitely got to get at least a 120 or something, or a fucking kiddie pool. I was looking up reasons why they would stress out like that just out of nowhere, and other fish, water parameters. There was a couple of other things that I could check off immediately. So what I immediately did was start testing water. But yeah, he's normal all day. He has his little spurts where he grabs the plants and starts ripping them around, but the whole jumping out thing is kind of freaking me the fuck out. I think I'm going to redecorate, see if that helps. Try moving the one planter back into the 40. He might just be rebelling against the few little changes that I'd made. I don't know, but like he swam the full length of the tank and hit the side the other night, and I think he stunned himself. I thought he was gonna fucking die. He started listening to the side and just floating kind of weird. I think he kind of stunned himself, but he's pretty resilient, evidently. Maybe if I keep this more toward the middle. I don't know. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe he does just need, it might just be pent up sexual frustration, Trisha. I mean, it could happen to anybody. But I definitely need a bigger tank before I put another fish like him in there. And then I'd be afraid to get babies because they can be very good parents, and they might tend to raise up a good chunk of the babies that hatch from the eggs, and I have nowhere to send them off to. I have no pipeline for new homes. So it worries me about the angels too, because they sometimes can turn into decent parents and keep the other fish and away from them, and resist the urge to eat the babies themselves. But I'll end up with a tank full of fucking angelfish. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, BB. It very well could be. I mean, I was thinking about taking all the rocks out and all the hard stuff that he could potentially bash himself into, but then the catfish would be homeless. They would just have to sit out in the open, and they wouldn't like it. So I'm thinking I'm going to take a walk when I pick my son up or bring him home next weekend down by the river that runs near his house. There's a lot of big rounded river stones. I should be able to find replacements for most of these with rounded edges. And that squared off edge there kind of worries me. Those ones worry me, and that one. But I should be able to replace them with something similar. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think as many people have them now. Now it's kind of more. It's more like a niche hobby. There's still a lot of us out there, but with the internet, People end up just selling their fish online. I don't want to go through all that just for one or two broods of fish. I mean, because I'm always running into people at the only fish stores we have locally are Petco and PetSmart. But I'm always running into people in there. Never run into anybody that knows of a local mom and pop place. The one that was in town closed, and they kind of just did fish as like an afterthought, like a little side project in their feed store. But yeah, that's the closest thing we have to like a mom and pop place. So the selection is always limited. The knowledge of the staff is limited in most cases. But yeah, there's no outlet there for people that had baby fish. Even the closest, aquarium club to me is like in Manhattan. The closest one I could find, at least within a Facebook presence. I even Googled, on Google, within a certain radius. Yo, what's up, Derek? Yeah, our mom and pop was a little feed store. They sold animal feed like dog food, bird food, even like horse and cow grain. And they had a section for fish, salt and fresh water. Kind of limited salt water, but they still had a decent little selection. But I believe the husband passed away. They were both probably in their 80s. Really sucks because I used to buy my rats for my snakes there for really cheap too. Now the new place is twice as much, but I still gotta buy them. But the mom and pop places, you tend to find a little bit wider variety and a few more oddballs. I mean, I'm sure there's some around. All the ones that I knew of, over 30 years ago now, when I started getting doing reptiles and stuff, they're all closed now. Now it's like Trisha said, PetSmart or Petco. Yeah, seahorses are cool. I'd love to do a saltwater tank eventually. I don't know what I would get though. Probably an eel. A moray eel is just fucking cool. I got 3 in the other room. 3 ball pythons. Nothing huge. Nothing super scary. They're kind of like a pet rock, really. They don't do a whole lot unless they're eating. Or I'm sleeping because they're nocturnal. They probably cruise the shit out of their tanks at night. Yeah, I had a little, it's not technically an eel. It was called a peacock eel, I believe. They stay relatively small and they're related to knife fish more than actual eels. But I got him from PetSmart and he was really small, so he must have been really young. I probably should have given him a smaller tank by himself for longer than just the quarantine. But yeah, he didn't last a month after I put him in the 40 gallon. Oh, I have, Blue. I've been doing all right. Other than the fish stressing me out a little bit. He keeps digging this hole deeper, a little wider. That's kind of a breeding behavior. So it might be him just, like I said, being sexually frustrated. You're gonna have to rub one out, dude. Yo, what's up, Jasper? What's up, Monkey Man? Here, we'll get the star of the show and screen. But yeah, he's been getting real fucking uppity at night and making a lot of splashing. I don't know what it is. Been troubleshooting reasons the last couple days. I probably could. I don't know if it would see a whole lot with the lights out though. I'm pretty sure they make like night lights. It's supposed to mimic like moon glow, but I don't have one of those. I could get one and try. But like we're up late anyway. But like early this morning, around like 5 o'clock, my girlfriend heard them making noise in there. So it can't be just the TV. Like 90% of the space in here is open for him to swim. So I mean, he's not too big for this tank, not yet anyway. Yeah, after the first night, he started freaking out. I left the lights out for, I don't know, like 4 hours the next day. I didn't even turn them on, and I didn't turn it on until I switched out the bulb either and put the dimmer one in. Because I didn't know if that's, that was fucking with him. But it was like an hour after I turned lights out that he started freaking out the first night. So it's probably not the bright light. It could be the flashing lights from the TV, the noise from the surround sound. It's not the water parameters. I will, Spirit. She usually stops in if she's got a free minute at work and she sees I'm live. She'll stop in and say hello. Hi, Dragon Classy. How are you? I don't know. He might be Brooklyn. But I could try one of those nighttime lights. It's supposed to have like a blue light to it, blue hue to the light. I could try that. I've had them less than a year. Shit. I think I got them in like May or April. So he's like 7, 8 months I've had him. Yeah, probably. Well, I appreciate that, Jesus Israel. Thanks for stopping by. Household is fairly peaceful, though, until the fish start acting up. And by that, I mean that guy. The thing with the sexual fucking frustration is he's not supposed to be ready to breed until they're like 2 years old. So I don't know. Maybe he's just an early bloomer. Yeah, I've been thinking about even repositioning the pumps and just rearranging everything in there. He keeps knocking that damn bamboo around. Yeah, you know we're talking about you, huh? You want a couple pellets? Yeah, I see you looking. What, you too good for the damn pellets? Yeah, he probably is. I mean, he grew pretty fast, so he might have gotten sexually mature a little bit early. That could be it too. I don't know. I mean, I have looked up how to tell the difference. I would have to get the video while I did it just to make sure I was looking at the right thing. But you got to take them out of the water and like really investigate their parts. The females, the shape is different than the males, so you got to literally physically handle them and check. Yeah, it could be a girl, and a lot of different species. The girls reach maturity quicker than males. Um, but yeah, I'm hoping that's it, and he just gets out of it soon. Other than like, I'll break out the master test and test every single little thing I can. I think there's like 8 separate chemicals you can test for and parameters. But well, I don't know. I know there's some species where the male is like born, grows up in like 2 weeks, and after that 2 weeks, all he does is mate. The females can live years, but the males live literally a season. I forget what it is, a shrew or some kind of a rodent. But yeah, most anyway, Brooklyn. But he's not supposed to start exhibiting breeding behavior either way. I think it might be a size thing though, because he did get pretty big pretty fucking fast. No competition for food, no lack of it for sure. But the night he was bugging out, I did notice the all 3 of the catfish were kind of freaking out a little bit too. I don't know if they were feeding off whatever was up his ass, but they weren't looking too comfortable either. That's probably true. There are other types of cichlid I could put with them to give them someone in there with them, but I kind of would feel bad. The tank isn't small, but for 2 fish his size, there's not so much room to hide if something does go wrong, there's only a certain amount of places he could get to. I thought about taking a big ceramic pot that I have and making a hole in it with my grinder and just putting it in there. It's big enough for him to get into at the moment. It probably wouldn't be for much longer, but give him somewhere he could hide. Yeah, I could get other cichlids that will stand up for themselves that don't get quite as big as him. They do get big enough that he can't eat them. That's an option. I would definitely have to grow it out to about fucking 6 inches before I put him in there, though. And then make sure the little fucker has enough spots where he could hide away from him and not get bullied if the Oscar becomes too much. Because they can be cool, and other times they can be dicks. Like fucking people, I guess. It just depends on the individual. And I've heard horror stories, and I've heard people doing shit like other people wouldn't, putting them in with other fish that normal people wouldn't do, but their particular Oscar just happened to go along with it. So it worked out for them. But I also know people that had a very diverse community tank and decided, because they didn't know any better, to get a Jack Dempsey, which is probably even more of a dick than an Oscar, and it ended up eating all of his other fish. He didn't realize how fast it would get big and how big it would get. And by the time he realized it, most of his fish were already in its belly. Yeah, he stopped keeping fish. I don't think he's gotten fish since then. I know he was mad because he spent quite a bit of money decorating, and then he spent quite a bit of money on, higher end fish, and then happened to just see that pretty little Jack Dempsey. I'm like, he ain't gonna stay that big, dude. But people do that with Oscars too. They'll get one and they'll put them in like a 40-gallon like I have with a bunch of other fish. And the next thing you know, it's 4-inch fucking long and all your neon tetras are gone and half of your other fish. Yeah, there are some fish that cost more than I would like to think. Pretty common fish in the fish keeping hobby too go for like $300 or $400 because there's some different color variation or something. It's like reptiles. It can be as expensive as you want. I mean, some things like I try not to skimp on filtration and heat. Get a good quality heater and the filters, and that's most of the expense. The tank itself, but you could find deals on those. But I was just telling Derek earlier in another live stream, Uh, between my 40 gallon and the 70 downstairs, I probably spent 1,500. That might even, and actually that covered the substrate in this too. So, but most of that was uh, the filtration, um, and the fish. The test kit wasn't cheap either. I mean, it wasn't super expensive, but you could you can maintain them really cost effectively. Like the electric bill is the only other thing, but that's not really that bad either. Even with all the grow lights and pumps and shit. Yeah, my girlfriend don't like the it getting dark early either. It's something you gotta fucking deal with. But yeah, it does suck. It limits what you can do outside for sure. Yeah, it fucking been raining here, so it got dark around 3 o'clock. Yeah, it can be a pain in the ass, Brooklyn. What the hell? That's weird. Gotta love modern technology. It's very weird, BB. Yo, Monchichi, what's up, buddy? Yeah, such is YouTube these days, though. Come on. Yeah, let us know if that works, BB. That's useful information. And Blue Topaz said there's a way she does it, but I can't remember what her instructions were. So I'm no help at all. I think what Blue Topaz said was like the live, back out, go to your liked videos, and hit it. And when you come back, it should be a normal live stream setup. I think that's what she said. I forget who tried it when she mentioned it. And someone tried it and said it worked. Nice. Yeah, I don't know how Blue figured that out. Yeah, I try to not scroll too much. Spirit. Yeah, there is some very strange motherfuckers out there. Like, I've seen women that were in their 50s with very lifelike dolls. Did you leave it today, Goth? Because, no, but I'll check it out. But yeah, I've seen a lot of weird fucking people. Dumbasses doing like anime voices and expressions and just look like complete jackasses. Other people that have weird fucking toilet seats around their neck. Yeah, yeah, you you can definitely find some odd ducks, man. You go diving too deep into the YouTube pond. Like, and there's like a whole community of like middle-aged fucking women that are literally got these life-size baby dolls and are treating them like actual babies. It creeps the shit out of me. The fucking creepier than a mall Santa, you know? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You just doom scroll. And then you start to see weird shit, and then it's like watching a train wreck. You just can't look away. Uh, you want to see what the aftermath is, but yeah, there are some really sick fuckers out there, man. Half of them need to be on a fucking watch list. All right, bud. But yeah, I mean, not counting the sickos I'm already acquainted with, like I already know about. I've seen a few of them that kind of don't make them ones look so bad. Yeah, that that dude is a failed genetic experiment. I don't know what kind of species they tried to hybridize to make something, but it failed, man. That poor motherfucker. Yeah, there's a lot of people to shy away from. That's for sure. Yeah, no, that ain't something you want to witness. Yeah, I don't know, man. He looks like the product of like fucking 30 generations of close inbreeding. Yeah, you ain't kidding, Monchichi. We love you back, Spirit. You gotta love those who love you, man. What are you doing, fish? Now you're looking for the foods? There, go get the food. Yeah, yeah, there are some people out there, uh, especially people that believe some shit that is unbelievable and just hold to it. Like, misplaced fucking belief is crazy. You run into a lot of them too, man. You know, they read one line in the Bible and now they make up a whole fucking chapter. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of those people fit the bill of that neighbor that goes fucking nuts and ends up with like 20 bodies in his basement. And everybody's like, well, I never saw that. Yeah, bullshit. You weren't looking. But shit, man, right up like 3 buildings from my elementary school, some guy was killing prostitutes and storing the bodies in the basement. Like right across the street from my uncle's house. In the mid 80s, I think that was. But my aunt's sister, my uncle's wife's sister, just moved out of that place, that building, like a year before they caught him. But she said that guy gave her like a weird vibe, so she wanted to fucking get out of there. But yeah, that was literally half a block from my school. I forget that guy's name. Alley Cat, I think, remembers it. But yeah, that was some crazy shit. Where I went to junior high school, it literally was right next to my house. And then there was a busker parking area, fenced-in parking area. On the other side of that parking area was the beginning of a development. And the road, the street, it was a big horseshoe about a mile from one end to the other. And about a quarter mile up the road at the top of the hill, one day we came to school and there's police tape all around this yard. You could see it. It was fall. And some guy drove up from Florida to bash his parents' heads in with a hammer to get their life insurance. But that was in my neighborhood too. Completely different fucking part of the state. Yeah, I think that's how he ended up getting caught, Monchichi. I think it was a meter reader or something like that. And told the landlord, like, he doesn't know if, like, there's some dead raccoons or something, but there's a hell of a smell coming out of the basement. And then the landlord went and checked. On that same road where the guy beat his parents to death, about halfway from the one end to the other, there was a nice big A-frame. And I don't know what kind of debt the guy had, but he was in crazy debt. And he shipped his wife and 2 kids off to her mother's house for the weekend. And they were coming home on Sunday. Saturday night, he went out with a ladder and climbed up to the peak of the A-frame where the ridge stood out a couple of feet from the side of the house, and he tied a rope to it and hung himself. So when they came home on Sunday, they pulled in the driveway, and the first thing they see is the dad and husband hanging from his neck from the fucking roof, basically. But I don't know what kind of shit he had against his wife and kids to let them find him like that, but yeah, had a couple of friends on that road. So even in like the fucking suburbs, there's a bunch of sick fuckers out there, man. And probably especially in the suburbs. Oh yeah. One of my first jobs, I was basically a general helper for whatever trades were remodeling this old tavern in the town I lived in. It's probably the oldest building in town still standing. And a bunch of businessmen got together, decided they would basically gut the whole thing, whatever needed to be gutted, which was most of it, save what they could, and just bring it back to what it used to be. And I don't know, I worked for about a year, and I was tearing out like remnants of old chimneys and shit when they tore down walls to make rooms bigger and stuff. And yeah, there's a few things that were questionable. I don't know how long they had been there, but it definitely seemed like they were hidden on purpose. I have found cool stuff on remodels though. I found the comic section from a uh, fucking Western Massachusetts newspaper from the weekend that Woodstock was going on, which is literally 10 miles from my house. But this is way an hour away over in Massachusetts. Uh, and that was cool. The advertisements for that on the backside of the comics. But I found pictures from the 1800s in and that same one, but a different building on the property, that old tavern. They had an old fucking 1800 safe full of pictures. They had pictures from when there was literally 5 buildings in the town I lived in. The one I was in when I found the safe wasn't there yet. There's a picture of a guy with the first like Model A. There's a bunch of cool shit like that. There's old land surveyors maps that lays out all the old property lines from the early 1800s till like fucking 1920 something. It was really fucking cool. I was supposed to be cleaning it out, the garage part of it, but I was checking out all the old pictures and shit. And then I showed them to my boss, and he was like, "Oh, like we could use these." Yeah, you can use them. Fuck's sake. Put them in frames. Put them in that building when it's done. But that was a cool job. I learned a lot of old school craftsmanship type stuff. Like the people they had renovating were doing stuff the same way that they did when the building was originally built. So it was really cool. I mean, some of the materials were different, but the technique and shit was all the same. It was worth knowing for sure. Especially plaster. The old plaster guy was a fucking hoot. Holy shit. Yeah, that's weird. Kind of cool, but that makes me think of the time my grandfather went to the bar and got into a game of cards and lost his wedding ring and told my grandmother that he don't know, he must have dropped it somewhere, must have fallen off his finger or something like that. But 2 days later, his buddy who won it from him in the card game was tired of hearing from his wife that he got to give it back. So he came and told on them. Pop had a bad week after that. From what I was told, that was before I was even born, but it was a good story. I've had a dude show up and walk right into my fucking house one time. I just got home from work, had to take a leak. I ran into the bathroom, and I literally just started taking a leak, and I hear the door open. My dog barks, and I thought it was my girlfriend at the time, and I yell out, and it's a dude's voice that answers back. And I walk out, and there's this scraggly-looking motherfucker standing there, and he's looking for the guy that lived there 3 years before I moved in. I'm like, bro, that guy's been dead for like fucking 2 years that I know of. Yeah, I know, I just wanted to come. No, bro, you're gonna have to leave. Like, get the fuck out of here. Well, can I sit on the porch? Yeah, you can sit on the porch. Just get the fuck out of my house. But he sat out there for a little while. And then I found out I actually knew his brother, his older brother. He's like, you should have beat his ass. I'm like, well, I didn't fucking know him. He looked like he was tweaking on something. Fucking figured I'd let him grieve. He only sat out there for 20 minutes. Other than walking in the house, he didn't bother me. But Still is weird, a strange fucking dude walking in. That's why I like to have a big dog. I didn't have a big dog at the time, though. She was only like 30 pounds. And a sweetheart. Yeah, it was kind of weird. I mean, the dude that lived there, his buddy was a known heroin addict in town. It's a very small town, so everybody knows everybody's business. But he died from the abuse he put his body through. He just fucking, his heart just stopped on him one day. He wasn't even like overdosed or nothing. His fucking heart just stopped. But yeah, like, I'm assuming the dude that came looking for him was probably an addict too. Yeah, and then when his own brother said I should have beat him up, I'm like, holy fuck, he must not be a decent human being. But I would tell people that about my own brothers, so I know what that's like. Yeah, well, dude, he looked familiar. I didn't know him personally, but the face and, like, my memory's shot with names and faces. Like, I'll remember a name but not a face, or a face and not a name. And then when I talked to his brother, literally the next day, he's like, "Oh, yeah, that was my brother." It's like, you should have just beat the shit out of him. I'm like, well, he looked like he was fucking lost, but yeah. If he didn't turn around when I told him he had to leave, then it would have definitely been a different situation. Yeah, well, the door would have been locked. He would have had to break in, but yeah, definitely a good thing I was home. No, I haven't, Spirit. It is always worrying when someone just fucking disappears, though. Oh yeah, I wasn't here. I wasn't even with Allie at that point, Brooklyn. I was still with my kid's mother. I was shit before he was even born. Yeah, that'll definitely make you wonder. Uh, Hoping he's just busy with life, you know. Oh yeah. But yeah, uh, we did have not Allie and I, but my kid's mother and I. She had somebody try to get in the house when I wasn't home, uh, and that was a bad, fucking experience for her. But it was even worse when she gave me the description and I knew the dude was my neighbor's brother, and I went over there and fucking gave him the fucking what for. No preamble, no telling him what I was there for. I told him when I was done punching him that I was fucking, you don't walk, try to get into my fucking house. But my girlfriend and her friend were there and they locked the door. Luckily. But yeah, there was two little kids in there with them too, her friends' kids. But yeah, that guy was an asshole looking for it anyway. I didn't think I would be the one that would give it to him, though. I tried to not associate with that particular neighbor or his brother. Hell yeah. My 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 dad always kept the double barrel right next to his chair in the living room. And my sister had a boyfriend come over one night about 2 o'clock in the morning and try to climb in the living room window. The dumb bastard went to the only one that was open, and that was the one right next to Pop's chair. So when he seen someone walking around outside, he grabbed the shotgun and he went to put his hands on the windowsill and he poked the double barrel right out through the screen and hit him in the forehead. And it told him he got 2 seconds to get the fuck out of here. He's going to pull 2 triggers and splatter his brains all over the fucking yard. My sister couldn't get that dude to call her back to save her fucking life. She told me that when she saw him on the street and went to talk to him, he walked across the street and changed direction and just went the other way. Like he didn't want nothing to do with her because she told him to come over and Pop was about to make his head into a fucking canoe. But yeah, the old man didn't fuck around neither. Yeah, Allison said she wants to learn how to shoot. I'm kind of scared to teach her, but I kind of want to. It's good for her to know, get comfortable just in case. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That poor dude didn't know what the fuck was up. He heard the screen rip, and then he felt the thunk of that barrel against the skin on his forehead. My aunt had this boyfriend who thought he had a better relationship with my grandpa than he did, and my grandparents were arguing about something. And my grandmother went over to a birthday party at my mother's house, and we were all over there. And she's like, "Shit, I forgot the camera." So my aunt's boyfriend says, "I'll go get the camera." She's like, "No, you probably shouldn't do that." And she calls, and he answers, and he's like, "You ain't getting the camera. You forgot it. You ain't getting it." He's just being a dick. So Russell, my aunt's boyfriend, goes over to the house, and he starts trying to sweet talk my drunk grandpa, who's already pissed off at the world. And he said he's here to get the camera. He don't care what Pop says. Ma says to get the camera. He had his hammer, and he said, "If you touch that fucking hammer, or that camera, he said, I'll hit you right in the head with this fucking hammer." And dude reached for the camera, put his hand on the Polaroid, and Pop reached his arm out with that fucking claw hammer and bonked him right in the forehead and put him on his ass. He's laying there, didn't split him open or nothing, thankfully for him, but he's like, "I can't believe you hit me." He's like, "You dumb motherfucker, I told you I was going to hit you, and you still did it, so I hit you." He's like, "You want to get hit again? Then get the fuck out of here." So my grandma didn't get no fucking pictures of that birthday party, not from her own camera anyway. But yeah, Pop was a man of his fucking word. Yeah, he didn't play no fucking games, man. Like, he had a great sense of humor, but when he was in a mood, your best bet is just to stay the fuck outside. Or at least attempt to not make his mood worse. But that same fucking boyfriend tried to grab my uncle from behind, fooling with him. Again, thought he had a better relationship with my uncle than he actually did. And my uncle flipped him over his fucking back onto the floor and put his fucking boot on his neck and told him, "You got any fucking last words, you better try getting them out now." And he started apologizing profusely. He's like, "You don't ever grab somebody from behind like that. You don't know what they're going to do to you, you know?" And he learned not to do stupid shit like that real quick. But yeah, and that was my oldest uncle. He's literally my grandfather's fucking son, 100%. He don't fuck around neither. The other boys, they'll have a little bit of a sense of humor, but that one, no. But yeah, Russell was just a dumb fuck. He wasn't an asshole. He just misread every situation, I guess. But shit, I've seen my grandmother put down idiots a couple times too. Yep, they sure do, Munchichi. It's always funny to watch. Especially since they're not expecting the fucking repercussions. He's moping. No, he's not poking out, but you're welcome. uh, yeah, he likes to hang out on the darker side. Yeah, it's probably his issue. I think if it was a girl and it was breeding time, I would find eggs because my angelfish, they're a cichlid too, like him. And the female, when she was alone in the 40 gallon, when I was raising her up, because my male is pretty fucking big. He's about as big around as the palm of my hand, like the size of his body. He's a good sized fish, and she's not half his size. Uh, but she was laying eggs all over the place. So I think if he was a girl, I would get unfertile eggs. And they usually, from what I've read, will lay them on a flat rock, kind of like that thing. And I haven't seen any eggs on there. That doesn't mean that she's not a girl. Maybe she's just not old enough to make eggs yet. I don't know. But I think that's a pretty good indication. Like, I didn't know if I had male and female corridors until I found eggs on the glass. But those probably would have hatched. Some of them did in the 70. At least one made it into adulthood. But they bred in the 70 gallon downstairs. And I had one more than I bought when I cleaned it out when it started leaking so I could reseal it. That's not 100% out of the question in the 40 because there's plenty of plant growth in the tank for them to hide in. But it hasn't happened in the 40 yet because either the parents or the other cories or the other fish, the snails, they all eat the eggs. The female angelfish would brood the infertile eggs and then end up eating them or just forgetting them and letting the other fish have at them. Yeah, if that's the reason, he's definitely acting more like a male than a female, Brooklyn. Temperamental fucking beasts that we are. Oh, don't fucking break shit. Yep. He's all stoic till he don't get his way, and then he's overly emotional. Nice. That Anubias is putting out a new leaf right there. Right there, that little green pointy thing. At least two of them are growing. Yo, Guns and Gears, what's up, bud? It's going. Watching the dead Oscar eat a bite or two. Oh, I gotta clean that shit out. I probably should let the water level go down an inch or so. So I didn't get shit stuck up underneath the brace like that. There's a dip in it. Guy I bought this from kept a snake or a lizard in it, and the heat kind of warped the center brace a little bit. I thought filling it up would straighten it out. It didn't straighten it out all the way though. Billy, what are you doing, psycho? You need to go down and eat. Alright, Bella. I'll be right back, fuckers. Come here, old girl. And I'm back. over there anymore, you prick. After seeing the food that gets stuck up there, I'm wondering if that's not why he's bashing himself on stuff at night, trying to get at it. I have to make sure I take that shit out tonight. I thought I got it all every time I see it floating, but I never really did check under there. I think I need to make a better feeding ring, keep the food contained in one spot so it's not getting stuck underneath that brace. I think for ease of cleaning, I'm gonna eventually take this pebbly sand out and get some like pool filter sand or play sand with no pebbles, because I think that's why a lot of shit is stuck on the floor, just getting stuck in the little crevice between pebbles. Yeah, it's probably part of the issue. I know he doesn't like soggy pellets, but if there's any mealworms up under there, I'm sure he would go after them, and it looks like there's a couple. But yeah, this feeding ring that I made is a little bit weak. It's thin. I gotta find some way to make one a little bit beefier. Maybe some airline tubing, 1/2-inch airline tubing. Oof. Cuts down on mowing though. But yeah, I could use some of that. Desert sand is much better than beach sand, at least if you're throwing it in a freshwater fish tank. Much less rinsing. Oh yeah, you probably got that shit that knows how to deal with having sand blowing over it. You're in Texas, right? Yeah, shit's tougher down there, bro. Yeah, he got real close to the front of the tank there. Trying to return the feeling of being watched, I think. Now you can see that scrape on his head really good. Yeah, now he's he's colored down. He's kind of paled out. Yeah, his eyes are really cool if you get to see him. Usually he's in the middle or the backside, and now he's colored back up again. And that big old scratch there. Yeah, I think it might be that food getting trapped. Could be part of it. Like I said, though, I think I'm going to take that planter and put it back in the 40 gallon down there. See if that helps. Also, I might move this one, maybe put it on this side toward the back, I don't know. I think he kind of likes it where it is, but I don't. Like I said, I'm not sure. But he's got as much open swimming space as possible. The only thing that's really in his way is the lucky bamboo, but he can go around that just fine. So I don't know what the fucking problem is, dude. But I'm gonna definitely double check that that food is out of there before I turn lights off. Because whatever's stressing him out is stressing me the fuck out too. I don't want to wake up to a dead fish for some stupid ass reason. Well, fuckers, I think I'm going to end this for tonight. Thank you all for stopping by. Oh, you can make a bridge between fish tanks. I was thinking about that. Finding another 75 and making I think they call it a water bridge, but you could make one of those with you can make it out of glass like a fish tank, or you could I think you can buy them. People make them and sell them online. But yeah, you can make one of those things. You could even get one, like I could put, if I could find a fish tank that would fit perfectly on this, or inside, like a 10-gallon, I could find some way to keep the top of it. You flip it upside down, put the top about an inch under the surface of the water, and then you could put a hose in it and suck all the air out, and it'll fill up with water. And as long as you can keep it from, falling into the tank, it's like it's like a viewing window above the water line. So I could like take food in my hand, put it underneath, and let it go. It'll float to the top, and he'll go up in there and eat it. But yeah, you can do all kinds of cool shit like that. You can make a water bridge. If I was good at fucking gluing acrylic together, it'd be real easy. Just cost the material. But you could do it out of glass like a fish tank. I got spare glass. But yeah, I'll see you later, guys. Thanks for stopping by.